Today we're talking about orcs.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Nah, not like that. Nah, not like that. They're in space, these ones. Oh, for God's sake. Oh. Hello, and today we are talking about Marauders for Deadzone 3rd edition. The Marauders are orcs, goblins, troll type creatures, basically greenskins. They came from, I can't remember what the planet's called. I don't think it was called, no, it was called Goran, or Gorian. I think it's Goran. And they were the typical cliched orc, not wearing much clothes, got clubs and axes and whatnot, hitting people with sticks, being very ferocious and liking a good scrap, and basically not much else. The GCPS and the Council of Seven turned up and decided we can use these as shock troops when they got slaughtered somewhat. So they decided to train the orcs and goblins and whatnot in the art of warfare. Not only just training them in how to fight, but different tactics, how to spring traps, every different style of combat. And the orcs kept going for it. It was all a trap, however, because once they got enough weapons, once they got enough gear and knew enough, they turned on the humans. And so the Rebs have got a little bit to do with it as well. They was a force still, but they became a lot larger when they saw that the Marauders were striking against them. They got to people and told them, look, they're doing this, why can't all of you? And because of this, the GCPS don't use aliens apart from ogres. They don't really learn that much. And essentially, the Enforcers were born because they need an elite force and the Marauders ain't going to work for them. However, that's not strictly true. You see, the Marauders, as they are now known, are mercenaries, because not all of the GCPS forces have broken down ties with the Marauders. They will still work for them, will still hire them out weapons. It's just a lot more cleaner because the GCPS don't have to get their hands dirty. And if the Enforcers or another army of GCPS see the Marauders here, hang on, didn't they used to work for you? Nothing to do with us. No, the Marauders are just there of their own volition. Nothing to do with us. It's very clean that way. A lot of Marauders have turned to being pirates because they've got to get the stuff somehow. A fair few of them have turned back to the old ways, so they're on spaceships, but they've gone back. A lot of them have gone back to being tribal and whatnot. Also, unlike the normal orc or greenskin, as you might have imagined, they don't treat lower down things as entertainment, food, or whatever else. The goblins are a lot more technical minded, so they are the snipers, they are the mechanics, they use the gun tracks, and they pilot the mech suits, the bigger mech suits, as it were. While the orcs and the what are they called? The Hulks, which are basically trolls, do the heavy lifting, as it was. They also put out propaganda to GCPS Worlds and everywhere else that the Marauders are dumb as rocks, like the atypical orc. Oh, there's a thing over there, kill it! Ooh. So when someone goes to face the Marauders in a fight, they come a bit surprised when they actually use tactics. So, firstly, the leaders, starting on page 58 of the Force List book. Starting with the Marauder Warlord. Speed 1-2, range of 5, fight of 3, survival 4, no armour, 4 hit points, size 2, 40mm base. Frenzy 1, Recon 5 plus, Tactician 1. The splat is Green Rage. The active model gains Frenzy 3 for the rest of the round. If this model already has Frenzy, then the higher of the two values is used. Which is nice because a lot of Marauder models has either got not bad close combat or really good close combat, and so Frenzy 3 is a really good idea. You've only got one loadout for the Warlord. You've got Claw, which is close combat weapon AP 1, and a heavy pistol, which is range 4, weight fire 1. 3 victory points and 26 points. Not bad at all. It used to be tough in 2nd edition, but it's now got 4 health, which you could argue tough is better, but swings and roundabouts, I suppose. Fighting on 3s with Frenzy 1 already, and you've got AP of 1. You could use the Green Range on itself, and like I say, Green Range is going to be a lot more useful here. 26 points for what he does. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't think he's the best leader, if I'm honest, but for a cheap leader that can actually do close combat extremely well, it's not bad. Next we have the Commando Captain. Speed 1-2, Rage 6, Fight of 5, Survival 4, no armour, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. Combat team training, Recon 4 plus and Tactician 2. The splat is Tactical Genius. An active friendly model may immediately use and discard one of your opponent's command dice showing a move, shoot or fight result as if it were your own. Now this is really sneaky. He can just that if your opponent's got a lot of shooting, movement or fight dice up, that can really go against them. Yeah, it might be a good idea to use that. The Commando Captain, I wouldn't say he's bad in a combat role, but range of 6 plus, he ain't going to shoot that much. Fight to 5 is alright, I guess. I suppose he's really mainly there to look after the Ripper suits. We'll get onto that. Yeah. It's got one loadout, the pistol, which is range 3, and the shock baton, which is close combat, knockback, under control, which looks after things with rampage if rampage is in effect. It's worth 3 victory points and 28 points. It's 2 points more than the Warlord. As a support role, it's pretty good. It's kind of like the GCPS leaders, just a bit more survivable, I'd say. It's slightly more expensive as well. Well, it's quite a bit more expensive as well, but it can survive a bit more. Not a lot many people take him, but hopefully that'll change. Next we have the Commando Sergeant. Speed 1-2, range of 5, fight of 4, survival 4, no armour, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. Recon 4 plus, Tactician 1. The splat is by the numbers. A commando may re-roll any dice as part of a fight, shoot or survive test. So if you're using a load of Ripper suits, Hulks or more beasts, ain't going to be much use. Otherwise it's a pretty good one, I'd say. A pretty good splat, and one you're going to see the most use, and I don't honestly think that's going to change. That's a really good splat. His stats himself ain't bad. His weapons are a bit meh. He's got dual knives, which are close combat, frenzy 1, and he's got a pistol, 2 victory points and 18 points. So he's cheap. He's got an alright shoot. He's got a pretty good fight and a pretty good survive. He recons on 4s, so that's not too bad at all. And this splat is really, really good, which picks it up. How many times you're going to get the splat is debatable, but if you get it at least once or twice, you're doing well, I'd say. Finally, we have the Grunt Bot Gaffer. Speed 1-2, range of 5, fight of 4, survive of 5, 2 armour, 3 hit points, size 2, 40mm base. Recon 6+, Tactician 1. The splat is Tinkerer. Recover 1 hit point previously lost, or prevent a hit point being lost on a Grunt Bot Gaffer, a Grunt Bot or a Stunt Bot. Max 1 per model per round. So, okay. You're going to have to use a little marker to decide, to show when the splat's been used. It's not bad, actually. Not bad. Stats wise is not bad either. You can only have one loadout. It's both close combat weapons. Buzzsaw, AP1 Frenzy 1, and Ripper Talon is AP2 and Tenacious. 3 victory points and 24 points. Pretty good. Close combat capabilities. You've got a choice of an AP1 weapon with Frenzy or an AP2 weapon, so swings and roundabouts. Also, if you want to get out for close combat with him, yeah, you've got Tenacious, so you're fleeing on 2 dice rather than 3, which is nice. Plus, being size 2 is going to be bigger than a fair few. 2 armour is also helpful. How helpful it is in 3rd edition, considering there's a lot of AP 1-2 weapons that can be troops, remains to be seen. It's only been out since late October, so it's still early days. I'd probably put the Grunt Bot on the same level as the Commando Captain. Reason being is the Grunt Bot Gaffer has better stats, but the Commando Captain has better support options. The Commando Sergeant is still going to be your go-to, I'd imagine, although do not count out the Warlord, because that Green Rage is going to be really impressive if it goes off. Next we have the Troops and Specialists, starting on page 59. Starting with the Commando. Move of 1-2, range of 5, fight of 5, survive of 4. No armour, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. The troop options, you get a rifle, which is range 6, rapid fire, 1 victory point, 11 points. Or a flamer, which is range 2, it burns, 1 victory point and 11 points. Flamer is going to be really good in this edition. The flames burn on 4s. That is ridiculous. For 11 points. Rifles, not bad. 11 points for what you get. It's pretty decent. It's basically like a GCPS Marine, but with a better survive stats. So that's why it's a bit more expensive. Specialist options, you've got 2. You've got the HMG, which is range 6, suppression, weight of fire 1, 1 victory point and 14 points. Or the missile launcher, which is range 8, explosive frag 3, 2 victory points and 16 points. They ain't expensive, these options. Having a few HMGs is going to be really good, apart from against Forge Fathers, because they've got Headstrong. Headstrong is a really, really good ability. Missile launcher is good for making people explode and throw them around. Again, a little bit less useful if you're against Forge Fathers, if they've got Headstrong. But you can move and throw frag grenades around, essentially. Either 2 of them specialists are really, really good. The missile launcher, in particular, it's kind of like a mini sniper rifle because you've got range 8 on it, and it's only 16 points. It's only 5 points more than a normal commando. Same points cost as a enforcer, no less. I don't think it's too bad. None of them are too bad, actually. Next we have the Commando Brawler. Speed 1-2, range of 6, fight for 4, survival 4, no armour, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. So all of these are troops. You've got 3 loadouts. You've got the pistol and the claw, which have already been over. 1 victory point and 12 points. You've got the pistol and heavy blade. The heavy blade gives frenzy 1 in close combat. 1 victory point and 13 points. Or the pistol. And the Ripper Talon, which is close combat, AP 2 and tenacious. 1 victory point, 14 points. These aren't that expensive at all, let's be honest. If you just go for a pistol and a claw, that's only 1 point more than a normal commando. And even then, the most expensive one's 14 points with AP2 tenacious. I wouldn't go for a pistol and heavy blade because just giving frenzy 1 for 2 points extra really doesn't seem worth it, especially if you're using a warlord when a splat gives frenzy 3. That's going to be kind of useless. Yeah, Ripper Talon or Claw, I'd go with either of them too if it were me. Next we have the Beast. Move of 2-3. No range stat, fight 4, survive 5, no armour, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. Got Beast. The troop has got a chainmaw, close combat AP 1, 1 victory point, 12 points. There's a specialist option, which is the Beast Bomber. The only difference is it's got the Boom 4, 1 victory point and 14 points. Boom 4 is if it dies, it blows up, and anything in the same cube will take a 4 dice attack, friend or foe. And you can also choose to detonate it in your turn when it's activating, if you want. Does the same thing, explodes everyone within the cube, takes 4 dice attack on 5s, I believe. It's 1 point more than normal enforcer. Basically, you're looking at this the same as a brawler with a pistol and a claw. The only difference is that the Beast is faster, survive isn't as good, can't pick up items because the Beast is a beast. That's about it. The brawler's got a pistol, has got a better survive stat. Other than that, yeah, it's about the same. More beasts aren't bad. It's also the case that their profile is slightly lower than the commando, so you can hide it behind some terrain. Not a lot of terrain, but some terrain you can hide them behind and just move them around without a chance of being hit by normal weapons. Flamers and whatnot, somewhat different, but more beasts not bad. The bombers, I've not seen many of them being used. Of course, that might just be me. Next we have the Goblin Sniper. Speed of 1-2, range of 5, fight of 7, survive of 6, no armour, height 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. Got Hacker. It's a specialist. It's got a sniper rifle, which is range 8. Got sniper scope, 2 victory points, 13 points. The Goblin Sniper is dirt cheap for a sniper. Shooting on 5s, and the model... There's one model that's standing like that, that's a bit big, but there's other one that's crouched down in a snipering pose, which they ain't that big. You can have them running around, getting in position really, really easily. My mate usually takes 1 or 2 Goblin Snipers, and I can't fault them. They really can do the business. Your obvious problems are that in close combat they are just going to be dead, and their survive stat is not great at all. I mean, they're only 2 points more than a normal Marauder. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Next we have the Grunt Bot. Speed 1-2, range of 5, fight of 4, survive 5, 2 armour, 3 hit points, size 2, 40mm base. It's a specialist, and you've got 2 weapons. The Buzzsaw, which is close combat weapon AP1 Frenzy 1, and the Ripper Talon, which is close combat weapon AP2 Tenacious. Is that the same as the Leader's one? Oh yeah, same as the Gruntbot Gaffer's one. 2 victory points, 20 points. These are really good. The first game with my mate, I had Forge Fathers, he had 2 of these for, I think it were a 250 point game, but even if at 200 points, these are still really, really good for 20 points. 2 armour, fighting on 4s, you've got a really good choice of melee weapons. Range of 5, I suppose that's just there if you want to chuck grenades, I guess. The armour of 2, yes, there's a lot of AP 1 and 2 weapons that are troops now, and they can be suppressed, but for 20 points, come on. You've got either an AP1 with Frenzy or an AP2 weapon. You've got choices. You have got a fair amount of choices with these. Next we have the Ripper Rainmaker. Speed of 1-2, range of 5, fight of 6, survival of 4, armour 2, 3 hit points, size 2, 40mm base. It's got Rampage and Solid. Background wise, apparently the Rippers are a bit insane because of how much firepower or slaughtering they're doing in close combat. I can kind of get behind that, but I'm not 100% going along with it, I'm afraid, but that's just me. They are specialists, and they've got 4 ranged weapons as part of their loadout. You've got the Rotary Cannon, which is range 5, weight fire 1. You've got the Rocket Salvo, which is range 8, indirect frag 3, 1 use. You've got the Hugh Beamer, which is range 7, AP 3 heavy. And you've also got the Frag Launchers, which is range 3, explosive frag 3. 3 victory points and 27 points. Now, I would argue they were too cheap before, but adding in that Rampage, I'd say they're about spot on for the points value. Fighting on 4s, shooting on 5s, you've got choice, a huge choice of weapons. Yes, the Rotary Cannon doesn't suppress weight. It really should, or have weight fire 2, in my opinion. But you've got the Rocket Salvo and the Frag Launcher, which can sort of act as a suppression weapon if you want. You've also got the Hugh Beamer, which can take on any, well, most armour. If you've got armour 4, then that's a little bit different. I think they're really good. I think they really, really do the job really well. You got to watch for that Rampage, because if you roll a 1 or 2, your opponent can take control of it for a turn. So just be careful there. Just be careful. Next we have the Ripper Mauler. Speed of 1-2, no range stat, fight of 4, survival of 4, armour 2, 3 hit points, size 2, 40mm base. Rampage, Solid and Tactician 1. See, what I just said about them being a bit insane because of how much slaughtering and shooting they're doing, why has it got Tactician 1? Surely that goes against it somewhat. So Specialist and got 2 weapon types. You've got the Buzzsaw, and you've also got the Ram, which is knockback and smash 1. So you get, if you choose the Ram, you've got an extra dice in close combat, which is nice. 3 victory points and 25 points. The Ripper Mauler, I'd say it's pretty good. I was going to say it's pretty cheap, but that Rampage kind of brings it back somewhat. I think it's spot on points wise. I really do. So you've either got a choice of an AP1 weapon for arm penetration purposes, or you've got the Ram, which adds on extra dice. I suppose if you're cheeky about it, you could spend a fight command dice, use the Ram. If they survive, they'll be pushed out, and then you can move back in and attack them again. Or push them off a building, depending on how high up they are. Ripper Maulers are pretty decent. They can't be suppressed. Neither of the Ripper suits can be suppressed because they've got Solid, and they can't be moved about because they've got Solid. Like the Rainmaker, Rampage is what you've got to be careful about. It's on a 1 or a 2 that it's going to be a problem, but just watch out. I still think they're pretty decent. Finally, we have the Commando Skyscraper. Or is it Skyscraper? I'm gonna say Skyscraper. Speed 1, 2, range of 5, fight of 5, survive 4, 1, no armour, sorry, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base, aerial deployment, jump pack. I'd have thought it'd be faster because its jump pack is literally a pack with a rocket. It's not like the Enforcer one, it's a big old rocket pack. That's why I thought it'd be faster, but hey ho. It's a specialist and you've got 2 weapon options. You've got the shotgun, which is range 3 knockback, and the Harunka, which is close combat weapon with frenzy 1, 2 victory points, 14 points. You've got the other loadout is the twin heavy pistols, range 4, weight 5, 2, and the Harunka for 2 victory points and 17 points. Now then, you've got the aerial deployment, which can help, and the jump pack, which again can help. However, considering what a commando can have, I don't think a Skyscraper is that useful in the long scheme of things. Post in comments below if I'm wrong. I dare say I'm going to be. My mate's got a fair few, ain't used them. I've actually used them once, might have done. Honestly, I'm inclined to agree with him. 14 points is 3 for a shotgun, and Harunka is 3 points more than normal Marauder, which is fine. You've got knockback and frenzy 1, but you haven't got them. You can jump over gaps, I guess. Apart from that, what have you got really? Same with the heavy pistols and the Harunka. It's 6 points more than a normal Marauder, and at that point, I mean, how many points is the specialist options? HMG is 14 points. Missile launcher is 16 points. Yeah, they're doing better business than the twin pistols and Harunka. The Skyscrapers need better movement. Otherwise, I don't see much point in taking them whatsoever, unfortunately. So next is the support, starting on page 62. First up is the gun track. Speed 1-1. Range of 5, no fight stat, survival 6, armor 1, 5 hit points, size 4, 60mm base. It's a vehicle. You've got 2 support options. You've got the stabilised Hugh Cannon, which is range 12, AP 5, firing platform 2, 4 victory points and 28 points. Or the heavy mortar, which is range 10, heavy, indirect, frag 4, 4 victory points and 30 points. It's only got 1 armour, which means it can be easily destroyed. However, for a vehicle, it is pretty low to the ground, so you can hide it pretty easily behind a building and just shoot a mortar wherever you want. It is basically like a heavy weapons team on steroids. It has got good health. It's got alright armour for what it is. I mean, even if you take the stabilised Hugh Cannon, you're getting 5 dice for shooting actions. An AP 5, nothing's got better armour than AP armour 4, so it's gonna hit and hurt something. I mean, even the heavy mortar, even frag 4. I know I say don't take these sort of things against Forge Fathers, but even frag 4, that is gonna hurt somewhat at least. My mate usually takes 1, if not 2, with these. I can't blame him. Mortars are really good. Next we have the Stunt Bot. Speed of 1-2, range of 5, fight of 5, survive 5, armour 3, 5 hit points, size 4, 60mm base. You've got fire control, frenzy 1 and walker. You've got 4 loadouts here. You've got the auxiliary cannon, which is range 2. It burns, 1 use, and the buzzsaw, and the thermal cannon, which is range 4, AP 1. This loadout is 4 victory points, 41 points. You've then, and that's the slasher option. You've then got the shredder option, which has an auxiliary cannon, auxiliary flamer, sorry, a buzzsaw and a big claw, which is close combat, AP 3 tenacious. 4 victory points, 43 points. You've then got the Tank Ripper option, which is got a Hue Cannon, range 12 AP 5, and Thermal Cannon, 4 victory points, 44 points. And then you've got the Gripper option, which has a Hue Cannon and a Big Claw for 5 victory points and 47 points. You've got a option of rockets, which are range 3, grenade, frag 3, 1 use, for an extra 6 points. Each stun bot can only take the option once, however. So where to begin with these? These are basically like the Striders for the GCPS / Enforcers, or the Iron Ancestor for the Forge Fathers. They're pretty decent, I'd say. So the Slasher variant, it's not bad, but the problem is once you use the Flamer, it's gone. Then you've got the Buzzsaw and the Thermal Cannon, and your short range. So that's where your problems are going to be. An AP1 for a big walker for that many points, not good enough. The Flamer can help, and you've got fire control, so you can fire both if you want. But not one I'd go for if it were me. Next we have the Shredder variant. Let's see what we got with that. The Auxiliary Flamer. It's not to have, I guess. It's there. The Buzzsaw and Big Claw. You've either got a choice of AP1 Frenzy or AP3. Well, no, actually, you've got a choice of Frenzy too, because it's already got Frenzy 1. Or Frenzy 1 and AP3. Why would you use the Buzzsaw when you've got an AP3 weapon with Tenacious? I suppose you've got 2 rerolls if you use the Buzzsaw. It's not bad, it's 43 points. I don't think that's bad. The Tank Ripper option is really good, I think. The fire control really helps with that. Yes, it's range 4 on one weapon, but you've got range 12 on the other, so you can blow things up and go to town with it however you want. Or you could go against medium infantry like Armoured 2 Peacekeepers and just blow them to shreds. The Gripper option is kind of like the Tank Ripper option, but you've got a good close combat weapon and a good range weapon. Yes, it's trying to be a jack of all trades, but it backs it up with having high AP and long range. The Slasher, it's the cheapest, that's why you probably take it, but other than that, I can't see much point in it myself. The Shredder, I can kind of see the point. Nah, actually, no, thinking about it, I actually can't see the point in the Shredder, because you've got the Big Claw, you've already got 1 Frenzy on that. At least with the Slasher variant, you've got a range weapon with AP, and you've got Flamer, so you can shoot 2 weapons. And it's cheaper than the others. The Tank Ripper option, anti-armour, can shoot both. And the Gripper option, you've got long range shooting or really good AP close combat. Take your pick. So the Shredder, trying to be good in close combat, and it is, but it's not as good as the Gripper. Yeah, I'd probably not take the Shredder if it were me. Yeah. Finally, we have the Hulk. Speed of 1-2, range of 4, fight of 6, survival 4, 1 armour, 5 hit points, size 3, 40mm base. It's got a Hue Cannon, which is range 12, AP 5, heavy, 3 victory points and 30 points. Used to have weight of fire 1, doesn't now, which is a shame, but it is what it is. It's basically like the gun track, but with a bit of shooting ability. It's got a hell of a lot of health, and it's cheap. It's cheap, 30 points for what it does. people are still going to take the Hulk. Size 3 with 5 health. Even in close combat, it's going to defend, and usually it's going to have 4 dice for defending itself, because a lot of things are going to be smaller than it, even if they've got high AP or high close combat capabilities, or both. For 30 points with range 12, AP 5. Yeah, I don't think it's too bad. I think it's pretty decent. Next we have the Living Legends, and before I go on to them, where's Chief Radgrad, Mantic? He's a Marauder. There was a specialist list in 2nd edition. Why is he not here? Don't get it. Anyway, what Living Legends we do have on page 64 is firstly Boomer, which is a Hobgoblin, I think. Speed of 1-2, range of 5, 5-6, survival 5, no armour, 3 hit points. Size 1, 25mm base. A size 1 model, 3 hit points. Not bad. Boom 3 engineer. So when he dies, he goes kaboom. Or you could blow him up yourself if you really want. You've got a ton of different weapons. You've got the pistol. You've got frag grenades, which are range 3. Grenade frag 3. You've got smoke grenade. All of these are range 3, by the way. You've got smoke grenades, which are grenade smoke. You've got stun grenades, which are grenade stun. Toxic grenades, which is grenade gas cloud toxic 1. For 2 victory points and 16 points. See, he is cheap, and he gets to throw grenades around as much as you want, because they are not one use, which is nice. And the toxic grenades, that could be a really good support option. So could the smoke grenade, actually. Stun grenade, a bit situational, but I can see the point. Frag grenades are always fun, aren't they? But the toxic gas cloud grenade, that is going to be a really good one, I think. You throw some of them in, and then your Marauders are going to shoot things. They're really going to take some damage, really, really are. Don't throw them against vehicles and the like, because it's not going to affect them. Other living legend is Chief Marluka. Goddamn Mantic, your naming conventions. Speed 1-2, range of 4, 5-4, survival 4, armor 1, 3 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. Aerial deployment, jump pack, tactician 2. Well then, comes with twin heavy pistols, range 4, weight 5-2, 3 victory points, 28 points. Apart from that Tactician 2, which at least if your leaders got Tactician 1, at least you're getting your 5 command dice. Shooting on 4s with 2 rerolls, fine, I guess. I honestly can't see the point of Maluka. I really can't. He's got jump back and aerial deployment, shoots on 4s, reroll 2 dice, Tactician 2. What is he trying to be? I'm honestly not. I don't get it myself. Boomer, I can see he's got the sport options and the fun factor of throwing grenades. Maluka, what? What am I looking at? So the items on page 64. Ammo is 2 points, can have as many as you want. AP ammo is 4 points, can only have 4 of them. Frag 3 grenades are 6 points, can have as many as you want. Smoke grenades are 3 points, can have as many as you want. Med packs are 4 points, can only have 1 of them. Combat blades are 2 points, can have as many as you want. Stimulant shot is 2 points, can only have 2. Adrenaline shot is 2 points and can only have 2. They are a pseudo enforcer force, sort of. Well, I suppose like a pseudo fortified force. I'd say probably more accurate, but they're a lot cheaper. You're not getting as much AP on your weapons. In fact, you're not getting a lot of AP on a lot of your ranged weapons unless you go for some of your high-end specialists. You're not getting much armor either. Your shoot and close combat stats a little bit worse. Your troops can do multi-purpose things, fighting in close combat and shooting if you want. Your specialists, however, are designed to do a single task and to do that single task well. Goblin Sniper, shoot from afar. Ripper Rainmaker, shoot things, you've got choice of weapons. The Grunt Bot, getting close combat with good armour. The Stunt Bot, either be close combat or range or anti-armour. That's what it's there for. The Gun Track, hit people afar with anti-armour cannons or mortars, which are really annoying. Your leaders are either really good at combat capabilities or good at support options, one or the other. But your troops are your bread and butter and can take care of themselves, no doubt about it. And because they are fairly cheap, you're gonna get away with having a fair few dead, I'd say. They, as greenskins, they are still good at orky stuff, good at fighting, and as a background thing, they are immune to the plague. Yeah. So, with that, thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.